Here we are. Happiness is knowing where your keys, your phone, and your bag always are.
Well, that's pretty simple. Knowing where your keys and your bag and your phone are, Andrew. Why is that happiness for you?
Well, because I'm not wasting time scrambling around the house looking like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where's my keys? I need to leave the house. Where are my keys? Where's that bag? What did I do with the bag? Did I hang it on a hook? Did I leave it on a chair? Did I leave it on the floor? Is it in the car? Did I leave it on a bus? On the subway? Where is it? I can't find it, right? It's not in its home. Where is its home? Does it have a home? It should.
So do you just write that down, or do you? It's your point, right? So it has a home.
Yeah. The organizational triangle: one home for everything, like with like, something in, something out. That's how we stay organized. But one home for everything and like with like is how we get organized.
I love that. Love that. So like with like. So what's like? So that's keys and phone.
Oh, no. It means all the tools live together, all the office supplies live together, all the spatulas live together, all the, silverware lives together, cups with cups, glasses with glasses, books with books, sweaters with sweaters, shoes with shoes, right? So by simplifying one home for everything and like with like, you'll find anything in 30 seconds or less. It just makes it super easy. You don't have things in 4 different locations, so you have to go to 4 different places to possibly find the thing that you're looking for. If all your USB cables are together in a tub, whether they're labeled USB cables or you just know that in your technology zone, there's a container that has all the USB connectors. If you need anything USB related, it's in that container. It can't be anyplace else, right? Everything that supports your camera is in the camera, or the photography tub. It just makes everything very easy. The example I always give, right, is you're looking for the Phillips head screwdriver. You go out to the garage to get to the toolbox. You're rooting around in it. You're looking for the Phillips head screwdriver. You can't find it. Like, where's the Phillips head screwdriver? I know we have one. Where is it? It's not here. 3 weeks later, you're digging around in the junk drawer in the kitchen, right? You're moving the pizza menus out of the way and the old IKEA hardware and all the crap that lives in that drawer. And there's the Phillips head screwdriver. And you put it there 6 months ago because you tightened up the knobs on the cabinets and you thought, oh, if I have to do this again, it should just stay in the kitchen because that's where the loose knobs are. And this is going to save me time. But the reality is, that's a one-off occurrence. And every time you need the screwdriver, it should just be with its buddies in the toolbox with all the other screwdrivers, the flathead screwdrivers, the wrenches and the pliers and the hammers. One home for everything and like with like. Just makes everything simpler. You don't have to think. Einstein once said, right, like, why spend any time trying to remember something that you could easily look up? And extrapolating on that, like, why spend any time remembering things that you can just assign a home for and then you don't have to think about it, right? If the tools are with the tools, I don't have to wonder where are the tools. They're all in one place.
The tools are in the tool space.
Exactly.
That just makes super sense. Well, Andrew, I got to ask though, right? I know this is your passion. What makes you an expert in this, Andrew? Like, is it the New York Times bestselling book, or is it the fact that you've done this for years, or what I guess gets you fired up about this? Why is you so excited?
Oh, why am I so excited? And I don't ever like correcting people, and it was only the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The New York Times.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Wall Street Journal bestseller.
Not to take anything away from WSJ and Dow Jones, right? But it was the Wall Street Journal. The book hasn't yet made it to the New York Times list. I like solving problems for other people. I mean, my first career was in the theater, and the work that I did, I'm all for entertainment, and I think even things that are message focused still need to be entertaining, or people are not going to take away the message. So but the work that I did in the theater was trying to help people solve problems and have some sort of both an epiphany and some sort of a catharsis that would motivate them to, make different choices. And so really I've spent all of my adult life trying to make things better certainly for myself and for other people, right? That's been the focus. And so I love seeing the light bulb go on behind people's eyes where they like, oh, I get it. Oh, this makes sense. And it creates ease, right? The Dalai Lama and other teachers talk about when you make the world a better place, you benefit directly, not even indirectly. So a rising tide lifts all boats. All of these concepts or philosophies around improving the quality of life, tikkun olam in Jewish tradition, the idea of repairing the world, making the world a better place. We all benefit. So the world's a better place for me. And if it's a better place for you, there's less friction and less drama for me too, right? We're less likely to end up in a conflict, and so everybody wins. It's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the problems that you said that you recently solved is the solid colored shirt. So if people are listening and not watching, Andrew's wearing a solid colored orange shirt, which orange is my favorite color, and I'm wearing a multiple color. I call this a Florida Phil shirt. Multiple colors, and it's kind of bright. So, Andrew, why the orange shirt? You're a plaid guy.
Yeah. So it was a week ago. I do a lot of videos online for social media, for sharing and teaching and, getting the message out. And my team has struggled putting captions over my plaid shirts. They're typically blue or white with some sort of blue or green or purple check. I mean, they're busy. And while the patterns are repeated because they're plaids or checks, they're busy. And so captioning them is challenging. And I was watching a video on my scroll of some woman who teaches fitness. She was wearing an orange turtleneck or orange tank top, and white captions across her chest, super easy to read. And it just it just occurred to me, oh, solid shirt, idiot. Wear a solid shirt. I mean, just wear a solid shirt and the captions will show up across my chest super easy. So that was the takeaway. Yep. You can teach an old dog new tricks.
There you go. Well, I'll be wearing solid when I do video from now on too, because it just makes so much sense. So now you've made yourself happier, you've made your team happier, and now ultimately you've made me happier. So thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
What's the bell for?
It's a way of acknowledging good news. So I like to ring the bell to just lock something down orally, AURALLY, just that sense of making sure that the universe hears it and that we're sending out some good vibes about an achievement. We do it in all of my programs around weekly wins and just anything that is notable. It's like, yeah, let's ring the bell.
I love that. Well, being a sales guy, you always ring the bell whenever you get a sale. So I really relate to that. So with that, Andrew, you're holding up a workbook there. Tell me about that. What's that?
Yeah. So this is our new Spring Refresh Playbook. This is the very first physical book that I've obviously written books, but this is the first time that we've created this kind of an asset for one of our programs. And we do this De-Stress Your Mess Challenge 3 times a year. We've got our next one coming up on April 14. And but its focus is on spring cleaning, hence the cover, the spring cleaning cover. And so inside is the workbook that we use for every day of the challenge. But then at the back, we've got this nifty, the ultimate, spring cleaning checklist is back here. Some other great stuff, inside the house, using non-toxic materials, of course, having fun, because spring cleaning doesn't have to be drudgery unless you want it to be drudgery. I'm a firm believer that nobody wants to do anything that doesn't feel good. And just because you have to, let's try to find a way to make it, I want to do it and I have to do it, right? And so we've got this nifty playbook. It's a 5-day challenge, and I think that based on current registration, more than 60% of the people who are signing up for the VIP option that includes this, along with a 3-hour bonus implementation spring sprint where we all work independently and simultaneously. So I don't know what your experience is around that. In my world, when we are all working, even if we're working independently, but we're all online at the same time, people get so much more done that it adds such extra accountability and motivation. And again, when we come back together to check in every hour, it's a great opportunity to ring the bell on all of our achievements. Like, what did you do? Because often the hardest thing to do is get started, right? People want the result. Getting up off the chair, getting up off the sofa. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. So the quicker we can get people up and moving and engaged, the more likely it is that they're going to achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah. Well, let's talk more about that, Andrew, because I think that's super fun, right? We get us moving, get us going together. We check in for that. But let's talk about some more getting started tips, because I think, to your point, right, I do think that is often the hardest part. I say always just get started, but it isn't as easy as that for some people. Right. So give me some more tips to get started.
Sure. Well, when we think about getting started, and particularly if we're thinking about organizing and decluttering, you can either go big or you can go fast, and you will get to the same place. So if you are feeling strong and you are eager to make some significant progress, go to the sad, scary corner in the basement. Go to the place where the stuff is the most compacted and where you'll get the greatest impact from making something happen. And if that feels intimidating, when you think about the sad, scary corner, don't go there. Go fast. So what can you easily pick up? Are there dishes in the sink? Can you rinse them off, throw them in the dishwasher? Is there a load of laundry that you could fold and put away? Is there some junk mail that you could rip up and throw in the recycle bin? Some recycling you could take out to the curb. On some level, it doesn't matter what the activity is, meaning recycling, loading the dishwasher, emptying the dishwasher. Any of those tasks will give you the same little dopamine hit. So one isn't better than the other. Whatever's around. You got some old newspapers laying on the dining room table or the coffee table, pick them up, throw them in the recycle bin. It's old news. If you haven't read it by now, there's a newspaper that's coming in today or this week. You don't need to hold on to 3 weeks ago. It's happened. You missed the story. So you don't have to feel bad about it, but there's no point in reading old news, right? Unless you were mentioned in the article and you need to find out if you were misquoted. Otherwise, let it go and read today's newspaper. You'll be happier. So
that's interesting, because growing up, we would save the paper. My dad still has stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of newspaper, but then my grandma died. And many of those went away, but Dad still has smaller stacks, because now I can still read 1997's farm report up at the farm with my dad. So why do we hold on to those, Andrew? Why don't we just get rid of them?
Well, I mean, the short answer is it's the stuff behind the stuff, right? What that stuff is different for each of us. So the reason you and your dad and your grandma held on to those newspapers is possibly different than the reason that somebody else is holding on to newspapers. It's a bit of an internal or an interior query that you like. Why are we holding on to it? What about the 1997 farmer report is useful? Is it nostalgic? Oh, like this is what the weather was like, and this is what the yield was like. Those were the good old days. Or is it just a somewhat unconscious habit of let's just save it just in case, where the in case is not particularly defined. We'll hold on to it. You never know. Well, you do sort of know. When was the last time you pulled it out to read it? Well, never, but you never know. It's a loopy question. Literally, it's a loopy question. All you can do is poke a hole in it. You can't really disrupt it from the outside. So, and you get to decide of all the things that you could spend your time doing, is stacking the newspaper, even if it's 5 seconds or 10 seconds a day, is that what you want to spend your time doing? Or could you be done with it and move on? Time is the ultimate non-renewable resource. You will not get the time back. You can tell yourself one of the 200 lies most adults tell themselves every day, and that is, I'm going to make up that lost time, or I'm going to close the gap between me and that time. But the reality is that once the time's been spent, you won't get it back. So I just encourage everybody to be super clear. You want to lay in a hammock and read a book, make sure that it's what you want to be doing, not that you're doing it to avoid folding the laundry, because then you're just stealing the time from the laundry. If you want to lay in the hammock and read a book, I want you to be able to do it wholeheartedly and completely and fully presently, not as an avoidance technique from doing something that you don't want, like mowing the lawn or, doing the laundry. Mow the lawn, and then you bought yourself the freedom to lay in the hammock without anything tugging on you back here, annoying you or reminding you, well, this is borrowed time. I'm going to eventually have to pay this time back by going and doing the thing that I've been avoiding. Be where you are in the moment, without anything snagging you, creating friction or pulling you backwards.
Yeah. Wow. So there's a lot there about happiness that we can talk about, I think, to unpack. And you talked about how if we can do the thing that we need to do, we've kind of earned the right to do the thing that we want to do. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. I often say winners do what they have to do. Everyone else does what they want to do, right? Because if you want to win, whatever winning looks like for you, there's certain things that you have to do. I use the example of Michael Phelps often, right? Michael Phelps had won 14 gold medals. Arguably one of the best, if not the best swimmer in the world at that time. Did he need more gold? Probably not. Wanted more gold. So every morning he's still in the pool at 6 o'clock in the morning training with his trainer. And it is helpful, right, to recognize even Olympic athletes have coaches. Simone Biel has a coach. You could be the best in the world and you still need somebody's eyes objectively observing your performance to help you improve. Nobody gets to the top of anything without external motivation and feedback and accountability. So setting that aside, right? He wasn't done. So every morning he's in a pool at 6 o'clock in the morning, swimming and training. Doesn't matter if his buddies want to hang out and get high. Doesn't matter if his mom wants him to take out the trash. Doesn't matter what it is, in the pool, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the difference between 14 gold medals and 19 gold medals. So winners do what they have to do. Everyone else does what they want to do. If all you want to do is be happy in the moment, right? That's the ant and the grasshopper as well. And we know how that story turns out, right? It's cold. Grasshoppers doesn't work out so well for the grasshopper.
Right.
And as a grasshopper, you can always try to lean on your ant friends and say, oh, I didn't plan this well. I need some help. You can do that once or twice, but if you do it all the time, the ants are going to get tired of like, dude, this shouldn't be a surprise. This is your third winter. Should not be surprised that winter's coming, right? Like, we all want to party on June 30th and stay out late because the sun's high in the sky and there's stuff to do so that when the days get short and it's December and, sun's setting at 4 o'clock, we're not cold and hungry. So you got to do something in the sweet times to prepare yourself for the thin times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you said there's 3 things that we all need. You said external motivation from a coach, or external motivation, a coach, and what was the other thing you said?
Accountability.
Okay.
And objectivity. I mean,
oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
We, regardless of how good you are at what you do, you don't have a lot of objectivity and perspective to be able to make it better. I mean, the things that you do well easily, you will continue to do well easily. Could you do them better? Probably, possibly. We were just talking about Kelly Swanson, master storyteller, right? And you want to improve your storytelling game. Maybe there's some tips and tools there to help improve your storytelling game. And you could be a great storyteller. And is there room for improvement? Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So motivation, accountability, and objectivity reasons hire a coach or get someone external. I like that a lot. So let's take us home here, Andrew. Happiness is organization. Give me a couple more quick organizational tips that can help me. And maybe there are no quick ones. Maybe there's some longer ones that we need to take advantage of so we can have you to be our coach.
Yeah, well, really, I mean, if we just go back to One Home for Everything and Like with Like, as foundational tools, everything has one home and only one home. So if in my office, this is where my mobile phone lives, so it doesn't get lost on my desk, this is the home. It's a simple felt pad. I mean, it came with a bunch of coasters. And so the phone lives on it. It's not going to get buried under a bunch of mail or a series of Post-its, or it's not going to end up between the sofa cushions. And in every room, I don't have a felt pad, but in every room, I have a vessel that the phone lives in. So if I'm in the kitchen, there's a dish that the phone lives in. If I'm in the living room, there's a dish on the coffee table. The phone lives in it. If I no longer have a landline, so this is my only phone. If it's on silent, I can't ask you, hey, Rick, call my phone. First of all, I can't call you to get your attention, to say, call my phone so it'll vibrate, because it won't vibrate. It's on airplane. So it'll be lost until I find it. That's a waste of time. So in every room, that's where that lives. I have a little rice bowl in my coat closet. That's where my keys live. That's where my wallet lives, my chapstick, my paper money. Every time I walk into the apartment, the first thing I do is unload my pockets, because I don't want to walk around the apartment. Like, I don't need any of those things in the apartment. Those are outdoor things. I don't need my wallet in my home. I've already bought everything that's in my home. So I'm not paying for anything, and I don't need an operator's license. So all of that stuff can live right inside the rice bowl, along with paper money. There's no need for paper money in my apartment. And my keys, I'm already in the apartment and the door's locked, so I don't need the keys. My pockets get emptied. They go in the rice bowl, and now I'm free to walk around. Nothing's going to fall out of my pocket and fall between the sofa cushions or any place else either, right? So One Home for Everything and Like with Like are how we're going to get organized. And again, when we think about easy things, where's the mail live? When you bring the mail in, most of it's probably junk at this time. Maybe you still get some hard copy bills. Every once in a while, maybe somebody sends you a card or something. But where does the mail live when it comes in? Do you just drop it on the kitchen table? Do you put it in a basket? What's your plan for dealing with the mail? How often do you open the mail? When you feel like it? Do you have a routine for opening the mail? These are all things that the more you can focus on the administration of your life, like the bare minimum that it takes to keep the fill machine moving forward, the more you can create SOPs, standard operating procedures, for those behaviors, the easier your life is. Again, you don't have to spend any bandwidth thinking about it. The mail comes in, goes in the basket. Once a week, Sundays from 2 to 3 o'clock, I process the mail. I pay the bills. I recycle anything. I scan anything. And then I'm done. I don't have to think about it for another 6 days. You'll never be late. You don't have to deal with the mail every day. You can totally do it once a week. You've got plenty of time to pay any bill within within 7 days. Nothing has to be paid immediately. So the more you can standardize those things, we have stories. Oh, it takes me about an hour to grocery shop. Does it? Maybe it takes you an hour and 12 minutes to grocery shop, or maybe it takes you 45 minutes. If you're going to run to the store, how long does it take you to get to the store? Where's the nearest store? Are you going to Trader Joe's? You going to Whole Foods? You going to Pathmark? Which grocery store, when are you going to? So we have these stories where we generalize. We don't have the math in our fingers. And then we tend to either underestimate or overestimate how long to attribute or to allot for something. And that's another way that we trip ourselves up. I'd rather you actually knew how long does it actually take you to do a load of wash? Not, it takes about an hour, because, if it only takes you 47 minutes, that means you've got 13 minutes to do something else.
Right. So figuring out how much it takes, one place for everything, like with like, those are all awesome ideas. Andrew, if we want to get more of your ideas, I know you've got this spring cleanup that you're doing to help people out. But if they want more articles, more insight from you, where would you send them?
Well, I mean, andrewmellen.com, MELLEN, is an easy place to get to, right? You can find stuff there. I've got a YouTube channel. Certainly the books, these are the books. You can, if you want, time's an issue, you might want to check out Calling BS I'm Busy. If clutter's an issue, you'll want to check out This is the Wall Street Journal bestseller, Unstuff Your Life. So, and those are available everywhere books are, in all the flavors. So if you want an ebook, you can get an ebook. You want a physical book, you can get a physical book. If you want an audio book, you can get those as well. They're all the platforms have them. And the De-Stress Your Mess Challenge, like I said, depending on when you're watching this or listening to this, we run those periodically, and it's a 5-day challenge. It's $19.97, so it's a pretty modest investment.
And that's $20. Let's be clear, not $1,997.
No. Yes, it's only $20. And we tell people all the time, right? If I know that there are people that do free challenges. In our experience, we found that when you have no skin in the game, you have no skin in the game. So you're less likely to show up. You're less likely to play out. So the $20 is really for you. I mean, it's not like we're not getting rich on the $20, but the $20 means that you're 3 times at least more likely to show up and actually do what you signed up for. There's no point. So if we think about clutter, right? How many times do we download free things on the internet? They sit in our downloads folder. We never open them. We never read them. Oh, I'm going to get to those later. It's $1 million idea. I'm going to get to it later. So this is to prevent you from treating the De-Stress Your Mess Challenge like all of that other digital clutter. I want you in the room. I'm not there for me. I'm there for you. So I want to make sure that you're in the room too. Yeah. So we charge, the $20, and I can't guarantee this will happen, but chances are, as you work your way through the challenge, you'll find $20 in a pocket, in the bottom of a bag. You'll find a gift card for $20 that you never cashed in. You'll find a rebate certificate that you just have a week to mail it in before that expires. Chances are you're going to recapture that $20. You're going to find something that you could return at the store that was a duplicate or a triplicate that you didn't really need, that now you can send back to Amazon, or you can take back to Walmart or Target and get rid of it. You'll be amazed at how quickly you'll find $20 once you spend $20.
Yeah, and we'll put a link in the show notes for those folks that want to see it. That, as Andrew mentioned, that's happening really soon, so pay attention for that. And Andrew, as always, it's great to see you. Friends, listen to Andrew. Go to andrewmellen.com. That's AndrewMellen.com. Get to know Andrew, get his books. Wall Street Journal bestseller, not yet New York Times, and all sorts of great stuff. Andrew, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Phil. Thank you.